Yes, welcome back. Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Good morning to each and every single one of you. I'm Terry Flewers. Do me a favor from the beginning of this video, hit that like button right about now. The share button as well. Really important to us as a platform that you get that done. It's a beautiful Friday morning. It's the 7th of August, and it's the day that the Man United conspiracy theorists believe, and some jokingly, some seriously, some hopefully, that today is going to be the day that the Jadon Sancho agreement at the very least is announced. I want your view and opinions on it. Hence the question mark in the title. Do you think the announcement will be today? Now, not the medical and the video and anything like this. Do you think there'll be an announcement? So there's kind of two ways these deals often get done. Sometimes you get an announcement that's like, Man United and Dortmund have come to an agreement over the player, and then what you'll see over Saturday through till sort of Tuesday, Wednesday is the medical schedule, the release, etc. There are other times when you get nothing. You get like a Pogba moment where a video just drops. He kind of got that with Sancho, although there were leaked pictures of him taking selfies of himself on the pitch at Old Trafford, so it kind of ruined that slightly. But I want your opinion. How do you think this is going to go about? The whole time along, I felt that this would be some big, dramatic announcement. The only reason that opinion for me has changed slightly in recent days is because I think Dortmund and Man United are trying their best to own the announcement. Now, as KJ said on the show yesterday, and I stand by what KJ said here, I don't care about that. I don't care who. I don't care if Fabrizio Romano. I don't care if Man United, Dortmund. I don't care if a plane flies over Old Trafford with all the details attached to the, take a billboard out in Piccadilly. I don't care how they announce this. Just get the damn thing done. But I want to ask your opinions. Do you think it will be announced today? We are going to take calls right now via Skype if you want to come on and have your say. We're also talking about Fabrizio Romano gave us a couple of interesting updates yesterday. One, Hojbjerg is all but a Tottenham player. Spurs fans, if you're watching, I would love your opinions on that player. I think it's average. I mean, average at best. A lot of people raving about him. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not too sure. We'll see. Jose might turn him into but my dad's been on at me all morning. He's like, because he didn't like my tweet saying he was average. My dad's literally chasing me up like, he'll turn him into a good player. My dad's proper kicking off at me about that. I'm not sure. And the Aubameyang thing. Again, I got crap yesterday for telling a joke, saying that he's only signed for Arsenal because all the big clubs have said no. Of course, that was a joke. It's exaggerated. Context, people. Joke, ladies and gentlemen. But Fabrizio Romano, the greatest mind in transfer news, said that he's almost signing for Arsenal, but he's waiting for Barca still. And it's like, this is the madness. This is the madness that you literally can't get away from this, Arsenal fans. Your best player is only delaying on a deal with you because he's waiting to see whether another club comes in for him. That must hurt a little bit, bro. That's like, imagine it's like, you want to take your girl out for dinner on a Friday night, but she's like, I'm just waiting to see if another dude asks me first. If he doesn't, then I'm all yours, baby. That's what you're doing here. Like, that would hurt me. Imagine that. You book the table, flowers are ordered, suit dry cleaned, you're right ready to go. You've cleaned your apartment. It's amazing. It's amazing. She's holding out for a next guy. And the only way that she's seeing your apartment, maybe, coming to dinner, seeing your fresh, crisp suit, is if he says no. Or if he doesn't even ask. That's even worse, right? If he don't even ask. She's there by default, bruv. But there we go. It goes, you are right, Terry. It's elite clubs that are in free meal leave. I know that when it comes to it. But listen, hit that like button for me right now. I want to go through the comments. I want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling in relation to this. Can I get a hi, Terry. Can I get a shout out? Great show. That's David Whitford. That's a shout out for you, bro. That's a shout out for you. Glenn here says, Terry, since most of the big European clubs won't be active in the transfer market, do you think United should go for broke and sign as many top players as possible? I wouldn't say go for broke, because that would be ridiculous business. There is a season beyond the end of next. But we are going to spend big. We are going to sign one of the best young talents in world football. Sancho is coming. Whether that announcement is today or if that announcement is next week, I don't get, there's a lot of noise. This deal is happening. It is just happening. Embrace it, enjoy it, whatever it may be. That's my view to a lot of people. Just embrace the damn thing, because it's going to come. It's going to be here. But yeah, we'll sign some other players as well. Let's do a few more of these comments. My replacement for Aubameyang is either... Okay, it's Mr. Dembele. Okay, fair enough. Hi, Terry. Any chance at Lukaku and Smalling returning to Man United? Lukaku is sold, so that's an absolute impossibility. That can't happen. Smalling will leave this summer. I'm pretty sure of it. Saw yesterday how much Roma missed him in terms of where they performed. Good morning, Constantine. Hope you're well. David here says, hope we sign Sancho. Bro, we will. Sancho's coming. It may not be today. Like I keep saying I'm 50-50 whether there'll be an announcement of sorts today. I don't think I am 50-50. I think I'm about 80% sure it won't happen. But I'm 100% sure I want it to come today. 100% sure that I want it to come today. What Paul says, why am I so confident? There's too much noise around this deal. There's too much noise. There's too much chatter. There's too much talk. There's too much posturing. There's too much public negotiations. There's so much going on. It's impossible to not believe. A comment from one of our members here says, if clubs do the same 70-30-20 type deal, would this mean it would be a financial fair... Sorry? Would this mean it would be financial fair play? Or so? If so, will more clubs induct these kind of deals? Bro, the way Man United are trying to structure this deal is how the vast majority of deals are done. That few deals are done as one-off lump sum cash payments, cash transfers. The vast majority, a deposit is paid and then installments are made. And then an element is nearly always add-ons. There's nothing about this Man United structure that is new, innovative, or anything. When last summer, when they tried to make Arsenal look cheap because they were paying in installments, that was the media again. And this is what I always say to my viewers, and I mean this. When the media prints these stories, Arsenal can't afford the players that are in installments. Man United can't afford 100. Man United won't want to pay 120 million this summer for Jadon Sancho. These media outlets are treating you like idiots. Like idiots. Because that isn't how transfers are seldom done in a way where they're paid cash up front. Very rarely. In the grand scheme of things. They do happen. We did it with Harry Maguire. But as a general rule, very rarely does this happen. So you're far more likely. You're far more like, this is the thing. The way that Liverpool's deal was structured with Coutinho, they've got a fair amount of the 140 million pounds in, but not all of it, because there was quite a bit of it that was additional add-ons. That was all encompassed with Barca winning particular trophies and titles, with Philippe Coutinho being a mainstay within that. He's not even there anymore. He's going. So they won't get all that money. And that's the way it works. Man United paid £47 million for Bruno Fernandes. Now, that's £47 million paid over the 5 years of the deal that he signed with us. However, there's about 18 to 20, depending on what outlet you read, million pounds of add-ons to have. 4.5, and they come as lump sums as and when particular milestones are achieved. One of them, and it's only paid once, is Man United gaining qualification into Champions League, with Bruno being a main contributor, which he was this season. So United pay 4.5 million. But we still, So but the point is, we don't ever achieve any of the other outputs. The other remaining 14 to 16 million pounds of add-ons owed to take the deal up to 67 million pounds won't ever come. It's a bit like with the Martial deal. It was always pushed as a 60 odd million pound deal, but United only parted with 40 million pounds. That, by the way, was paid over the first 5 years that he was at the club via amortization. I think that may almost be paid off now. The remaining sort of 20 odd million was add-ons. We ain't won Premier Leagues or Champions Leagues. So none of that's even been paid. And if we never win those things, and by the way, it's inside his first contract. So now that he's signed a new deal, a lot of those contracts, and that he's outside the first initial 5 years almost, those add-ons will become void, meaning United will never pay the 60 odd million pounds that's been quoted in the press. And that's why it's important to decipher these things. That's why it's important to not just listen to the financial experts like Kieran McKenna, like Dr. Rob. These people know what they're talking about in how these deals are structured. And it's an abomination, you know, and that's why I get so annoyed about it, because some of the mainstream media are treating you like idiots. Oh, United won't pay 120 mil. No, not upfront cash. But that's why we're going to pay 70, 30, 20, and at least 20 million of that is going to be performance-related add-ons. And they'll be fairly complex. And there's a 50, 60% chance we won't ever pay those things. And if we do end up paying them because we win a Premier League, Champions League, and Jadon Sancho wins Player of the Year and UEFA Player of the Year that same year, we'd be happy to pay it because we'd be back on top of the world. But if those things collectively don't happen, then it's only going to cost around 100 million euros, 90 million pounds. So it's understanding the detail, the granular detail of these deals, and not being suckered into the media nonsense. Terry, I just came now. Is the Sancho announcement going to be today? Let me reiterate. A lot of Man United fans think the announcement could be or will be today. I'm unconvinced, personally. I'm unconvinced whether or not it will be today. I want your views. I want your opinions as to whether or not you think that will be done. Man's laughing here saying, ha, 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 Premier League. And that's the irony in this. Man United rivals will say, oh, you're paying 120 million pounds for him. No, only if we win the Premier League and Champions League inside the first, say, 3 years, as an example to what a clause may say. And Sancho plays 80% of the games in those seasons. You ain't going to win those. Okay, then we ain't paying 120 million that you're battering us for, are we? You see how it falls down. We only pay if we become this great team again. If we don't become a great team, the transfer fees are lower. But one of the biggest reasons the media puts it out there, one is to dumb it down. Secondly, it creates a nice bit of banter. Oh, United overpaid. Well, did we overpay? If you add all of our transfer fees, you paid 800 million. I would love to see a breakdown of how much of that 800 million we spent between Fergie and Ollie, and how much of that was add-ons that we never paid out because we never performed. You might find that 180 million pounds of that gets shaved off. Still a huge amount of money that's been spent, there's no doubt. But there is a significant difference. And I think that's what you need to look into when it comes to these deals. Someone here says, I cannot wait for Fabrizio Romano to say, here we go. Well, that's the interesting element with this. That's the as I say, the interesting element, as always, when it comes to these things is I don't think Man United want him to. I think Manchester United want to own this completely. Let's do a few more of these comments here. See what's being said. Top Dog said, I really wanted Sancho at Chelsea, but looking with the signings of Werner, Ziyech, and a massive possibility of getting Havertz, Sancho wasn't the priority that I thought he was 2 or 3 months ago. Well, that's the thing. If you do good transfer business, your priorities change, your views change, your opinions change. And with what you've signed, not getting Sancho isn't a problem. If you didn't get Sancho, but you just renewed contracts of Pedro and Willian, I think there'd be an issue. By the way, please hit that like and share button. Really, really important to us. Super chat here from Caleb, who says, hey, from Australia, love the work, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we do work hard here. I like it when people appreciate it or enjoy it. Comment here says, morning, Terry. Worst case scenario, Sancho isn't signed this window. How do you think the rest of the transfers will pan out? Okay, probably. I think that Man United fans will have a meltdown. Man United fans will cry their eyes out. Man United fans will want to do something dramatic. I mean, United fans are so dramatic all the time. If we don't make the signing, we don't make the signing. We move on. We move forward. I'm so confident that it will happen. However, what I don't want to happen is Man United sell their souls to the devil again. I think 108 million pounds as a maximum total package is fair for a player of the quality of Jadon Sancho. There's no doubt. Let's do a few more comments here. Gavin here says, with Havertz, nothing will happen until after the Europa League. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the interesting element when it comes to him. Chelsea tried getting this deal done, and they tried to stop him from playing in the Europa League. Leverkusen said, pay us for it then. And Chelsea have been right to do what they've done. Chelsea are absolutely right to not pay an extra £10 million just to stop him playing in the Europa League. I think they're sticking to their guns. They'll get the deal finishing in 2 or 3 weeks' time. It isn't ideal, but yeah, don't pay him for that. I wouldn't have done that. A lot of people felt the deal would have been done. A lot of people felt that the Sancho situation was going to be concluded in the opening week the Havertz deal was going to be concluded in the opening week of August. I think even including Kai Havertz, but an agreement wasn't formalized. The clubs didn't end up agreeing, and when that happens, that's what happens. We've got a call here from Eric coming through. Eric, hi Eric, welcome to the channel. What do you want to say, mate?
I love you.
Oh, it's the same. It's them dudes again, you know. They make it. These boys are making legitimate. So many accounts is unbelievable. This is going to be another one, I think, as well. Watch. Hello.
Hello, Terry.
How you doing?
Good. How are you doing, bro?
Yeah, you were blocked with a different account yesterday. Take care, mate. Bye-bye. Yeah, see, you can tell. They don't even change their voices, these people. They don't even change their voices, these people. Block them out. Done. Literally, they keep making these accounts and they keep trying to, come on, it's got to block them all. Block them all. Block them all. Get rid of them. If you want to call the show, though, you can do. Super chat here from Jordan. Hi, Jordan. Thank you. He says, hi, Terry. We finished 33 points behind Liverpool by getting Sancho. How many points do you think we can close the gap by? I don't believe it will be done today, but I'm confident the deal will happen. Yeah, thank you for the super chat, Jordan. I don't know necessarily how many points because it's hard to tell. But I think that we'll win an extra 8 or 9 games next season. No, I reckon we'll win about eight extra games next season, and that'll be the big difference. Amar Khan, how you doing, mate? Welcome to the show.
Hi, how's it going? You okay?
Yeah, I'm very good. Yourself? Can you hear me? Oh, his connection is poor. You there, mate?
How's it going, mate? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. What do you want to say, my friend?
Talking about the Jadon Sancho deal, I think it's just a bit of a nightmare at the moment. It seems to happen every summer, where you get linked to a player and it takes us, all transfer window to get it sorted out. And I thought this one's going to be a bit different. It seems to be going that way, but I think it's going to be another saga now. And yeah, I'm not sure if we're even going to do it, to be honest. It seems like we're putting all the information out there to say that it's going to be too expensive, and then in the end, we'll end up just walking away.
I don't know. I mean, this feels very much the same as Maguire, the same as Bruno. We put that announcement out, was it Monday, Tuesday, that we could walk away. I honestly feel like there's going to be an announcement in the next 2 or 3 days. I really, really do. I wouldn't be downbeat about it, sir. I really wouldn't be downbeat about it at all. I think it's going to happen. I think it's close. I think we actually are working quite quickly. If you think about transfers, though, so far, barring Werner as an example, like how many other big signings have been done yet? As in, like, star players. True. Yeah. Ake and Torres are done with City, but they're not hard deals. I mean, look at Liverpool. Liverpool are trying to buy Jamal Lewis. That's been going on for a couple of weeks now. That's not moved any further forward. Do you get where I'm coming from? So I think that's why I would say just stay relaxed. In the next week or so, I think in the next couple of weeks, this deal will be done. This deal will be over. and we'll be able to kind of move on from that point, mate. But there we go. Listen, I appreciate you coming on the show, mate, having your say. We'll chat to you again soon, my brother. Thank you very, very much. Another caller now. Hello, welcome back to the Football Terrace. What do you want to say? Hello, what do you want to say, mate?
I'm gonna call back.
Okay. I love how so many of these people call in. There's a name calling in here called Chief Ham. Let's see if it's one of these boys trolling again. Hello, welcome to the show. Oh, good. I'm glad you're not. It's an interesting name, Chief Ham. Who do you support, buddy?
Man United, of course.
What do you want to say?
First of all, I'm just basically delighted by the fact that we are looking at young players like Sancho. Instead, I think if Mourinho was here, we're going to be going for Gareth Bale, of course, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a positive for the start. And the fact is about the midfield. Yesterday against Lask, we had McTominay, Fred, and Andres Pereira in the midfield. We couldn't beat Lask using this midfield. But the same midfield we had at the start of the season. So basically, we overachieved in the Premier League during those days. What do you think?
Look, I think we. Yes and no. I feel that we were poor. I think we know a lot of it now. Hindsight's lucrative. Yeah, the players weren't there, especially from a creativity point of view. So we did okay to be where we were until Bruno came back in and Pogba returned. But that's why the strength in depth is so important to have, because it's likely next year that you're going to lose a player or two for a handful of games. You're going to need to rotate, and if you throw in Grealish and Van der Beek into that mix and take out, say, Fred and Pereira and change it for those two, suddenly Man United become a very different animal. So no, I agree with you. I think there's an element of overachieving, but I lost sight of I blame Volley. I was on him, coaching, tactics, style, berating him, and I was wrong to. And we saw that once Bruno came in, especially, you're watching it going, actually, there was a system. Even the other night against Lask, we created the openings, the movement was there, the patterns were there, the shapes were there. We just didn't. It was final ball, and final ball is about quality of personnel. And some of those final balls were not even difficult. These guys did do it. Jesse Lingard's goal, very good. He nearly messed up by delaying too long. And I think that's the thing with these players. They're just not of the quality. You saw what happened as soon as, Martial was on the pitch for a couple of minutes. Well, about 10 plus minutes. And he had two golden opportunities to score. I think one was given as offside in the end. But you just saw the difference. He was able to open that team up in seconds. And that's that's because he's quality. Go on, mate.
Yeah, about Oli, people questioning him, saying that he's a PE teacher, leave that fact right now. But does a manager need to be a, great tactician like Pep Guardiola? I don't think so. Because Wayne Rooney said that Louis van Gaal was the best tactician he ever had. He played under Sir Alex. But Sir Alex wasn't a tactician like, Guardiola or Klopp. But Sir Alex was a manager. The fact is, Chris Wilder, he's not a tactician, but he's a manager. His tactics are done by his assistant manager. The fact is, Ole is a manager. We don't want to look him like like a tactician. So basic fact is, he's managing the club, and we gotta give props to him. The recruitment he's done, the atmosphere of the dressing room. I basically think we were harsh, talking about Ole initially. So we basically want to give him credit, and if we win Europa League, we should celebrate for him, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there's a lot of truth in what you said there. I don't think Ollie's given enough credit that he deserves. And yeah, there are different types of managers. Some, like Fergie was, of course, tactically astute. Fergie had tactical nous. He most definitely did. He was Sir Alex Ferguson. Were there people out there that were better tacticians than him? Most likely. But were there people out there that could keep a team, the same team, same club motivated for 20 years on the pop? No. So there are these horses for courses. The one thing I would always say, a lot of people try and use Pep Guardiola as Pep Guardiola got the better of Fergie. Yeah, because Fergie was at the end of his career and Pep Guardiola was at the moving into was at the start and was fresh and it was brilliant. Had Fergie and Pep come across each other 10, 15 years earlier, Fergie would have done to Pep, in my opinion, what he did to every other single manager. He'd have beaten them and toppled them. You think about everyone that Fergie went head to head with in terms of real managerial battles, especially in obviously Premier League era, he ended up getting the better of. He always did in the end, whether it was via tactics or attrition, whatever it may be, he got there in the end. The problem with the Pep Guardiola situation is that it was just, in my opinion, too late in the day for him. Do you get where I'm coming from? But Fergie gets so much, just like everyone that's related to Man United's greatest Premier League sides, there's so much disrespect that's put on like Fergie's name alone. And that's what you get now. It's just the way it is, I suppose. And I feel that Ollie, if he picks up, that's why I want him to win this trophy. I want him to win the Europa League. Aside from it being great for Man United, one of the biggest reasons that I want it done, that I want it to happen, that I want to push it forward is simply because I feel like I have the kind of feeling that if we don't, then it becomes a bit of a sort of a monkey on his back. People won't let off that he hasn't won a trophy. So I think it's important for that reason. But mate, listen, I appreciate you coming on, having your say. We'll chat to you again soon, my man. Thanks, you, buddy. Chief Ham. Thank you. Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, thank you very, very much. As always, please do me a big, big favor. Hit that like button. Please hit the share button as well. And we'll speak to you all again very, very soon.